I know I'm kind of speaking to the choir here, but what you have to understand is when you look at my swing on the left, okay, when you look at my swing on the left, you don't see a lot of movement. You don't see a lot of manipulation. You don't see a lot of forcing anything. And I hope that's coming up a little more clear on you on Zoom, but I'm going to slow it down in a minute right here. So when you're looking at this swing, and let me see. Okay, good. When you're looking at this swing here, don't look at the swing. You have to look at the setup because the setup is what controls the entire swing. It's just that when you don't understand that the setup controls the entire swing, then the first thing off the ball, you lift the club, you get too much weight on the right side, and you come out of your angles. You come out of your setup. And as soon as you come out of your setup, you don't understand how to get back because the swing is too quick, it's too fast. And so when you see a swing as simple as this swing is, you see this position here, 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 and then you see this position there. But notice I didn't come out of my setup. You see that the shoulders are still angled. I'm still in my forward bend at setup, as if I were at setup. Nothing changed. Nothing moved out of my two positions that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. See, nothing moved. So if I were to annotate this, and then we're going to go to Hogan's quotes. There's my shoulder angle. There's my forward press. There's my what? Vertical weighting. Right knee pinched in, head turned back. All that you can control at setup. The only thing you have to do is understand that you don't want to come out of these angles. So now the $100 million question is, well, how do you stay in the angles? Because if you can stay in these angles, every tip, trick, secret, fix, gimmick, magic, eureka, moment on YouTube will be covered. Every body position, every club position will happen naturally. You don't have to watch other YouTube videos. The whole 2-6 network is the only network that connects the entire swing where you don't have to go anywhere.
Anna.
You see.
Anna.
So you don't have to go anywhere else.
Anna.
Can everybody mute, please? Mute, mute, mute. So.
Hi there, stranger.
Okay.
Hi,
Just
let me get you. Let me get you. Hold on.
Hold on, I'm trying to mute on the laptop. Okay. All right, can everybody mute, please? Mute. Can everybody mute?
Anna, come here, fast.
All right. All right, can everybody mute? Mute, mute, mute.
昨天晚上来看呢。Somebody
tell me who's not muted because I can't. I put everybody on the. Who's not muted?
It's Mike or Pete.
Okay.
Mike Hines or Pete?
No, it's not me.
Pete.
It's Pete.
Pete, mute.
It's Pete. I think he walked away from the computer, so you're going to have to find him in your chat or in your participants in the muting.
Okay.
Terry.
Okay.
See, I got
the screens up, and let me think here. Where are we?
Oh. Okay, we keep going. Otherwise, those people are gonna hate us.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so when you look at the picture, there's only like three or four positions that you have to deal with. And remember, guys, you got to make sure that the tension's out of your grip. So there's a lot of things you can't see in the golf swing that make it work that you have to be aware of. And if you're not reminded of them every time you watch a video,
Turn up the volume, Terry.
you're not going to remember. No, okay. Oh, that's the volume. Just a second. Okay, now the volume's all the way up, so it might be the mic on your end. Can everybody hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can now, but when you lean back, no.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Let me sit up here. Okay. So again, when you practice, you have to be aware of what angles you control at setup. Now, the question is, well, how do you stay in the angles? How do you stay in the angles at setup? See, that's the key. So if I were to look at this swing here, when I take the club back to about here, you see, there's no bobbing up and down. There's no lifting of the club. It's just basically moving the club back with my left shoulder, basically with the top of my bicep, the top tip of my bicep moves across the top tip of my left pec. That's what keeps the club here. This is basically a straight line. Now, if I'm trying to hit a cut or a draw, then my foot line is going to be open or closed. So if I'm trying to hit a draw, let's say, it's going to look like the club is tracking back to the inside off the ball, but it's really just tracking on my shoulder and my foot line. That's the swing plane with a draw. Or it may look like it's going a little bit to the outside if I'm setting up for a cut. That's the foot line, that's the shoulder line. See, you have to be aware that the swing plane is never ever absolutely square on every shot, because either you're set up a little open or you're set up a little closed based upon what the ground, the lie is telling you. So that's like, you have to be aware of that. Okay. And so when you're aware of that, then you know the swing plane is dictated by your shoulder line and your foot line. So if you're set up a little closed, the club's going to come back to the inside a little bit. If you're set up a little open, the club's going to track to the outside just a little bit. And then from there, everything basically is the same. You're basically taking the club back on the straight line. And then, this is where a lot of you get in trouble, the club basically moves straight up. It moves basically straight up. Now, I'm going to erase some lines here. You see where my left arm is basically still straight on, let's say, my alignment stick, if there was an alignment stick below my left arm. So if there was an alignment stick here, my left arm is straight on that alignment stick. That means as the club's moving up, I am moving the club straight up. Now, why is the club getting behind me? Because see, the right elbow can collapse all at once as long as the lead elbow stays straight. I'm not trying to keep both elbows straight. The right elbow will fold pretty quickly, but it's the lead elbow, the lead arm, that keeps the width and the space. Now notice I have not come out of posture. Notice my head is still here. You see, my legs are still there. The only thing that's moved up and around is my arm. Now, as my arms lift up, I do get more weight on my lead leg, but see, it's the weight of the lead leg, taking the lead leg as my arms are moving up. That's what keeps me in posture. The arms moving up and the lead knee moving down. That keeps me in posture. That helps the shoulder tilt stay in its posture. And if you can stay in posture with your forward bend with vertical weighting and your shoulder tilt is there, that's what gets the club to move around your body. But to a lot of you, that may not feel powerful. It's like, well, that doesn't feel powerful. It looks like I'm not really, it feels like I'm swinging with all arms. Well, you're not swinging with all arms because, again, as the arms are lifting, the lead knee is lowering. If the lead knee never loaded or moved down as your arms moved up, that would mean it would be a total arm swing. But the body is, it's like a piston. It is churning as you what? As you try to move up and around. So as you move up, then I get top to back swing. So I'm hitting a little cut 8-iron right here. Okay. Now what do you see at the top of the backswing? You see weight loaded on the lead leg. Let me draw it here. You see that loaded there because these arms lifted there. That created what? That created resistance here. Okay. Now let's look at Hogan's quote. At the top of the backswing, the growing muscle on the inside of your right leg, okay, for right-hand golfers, if you're a left-hand golfer, it'd be the right groin on your left leg, near your right nut will tighten. This subtle feeling of tightness there tells you that you have made the correct, it tells you you have made the correct move back from the ball. See, the subtle feeling of tightness. See, I'm right here. I'm right here. Right there. The subtle feeling of tightness there tells you that you have made the correct move back from the ball. The thing about it is you can read this whole article here. This whole article here. But if you don't understand this section right here, the whole article doesn't make any sense. The whole article talks about effect golf. Effect. Meaning that they're just going to tell you what you should be feeling. They're just going to tell you what the right arm should be doing. If you can get the right arm, the right elbow, the right knee to do this, then you've got the correct. That's just effect golf. But if you can get that right growing muscle to tighten subtly at the top of your backswing, then you've covered every tip, trick, secret, fix, gimmick, magic move on YouTube if they talk about how to take the club back, go top the backswing. And that's what happens. So let's go back to the picture here.